25 million people continue to be exposed to asbestos in the workplace.
So there's a big cost to humans using asbestos in dollars and lives.
Research that goes into these decisions has to be directed by independent, unconflicted scientists.
It's not something that just affects workers, it affects everyone.
Saving one life is great, but saving many more is what I hope to accomplish.
Making a profit off of people's pain and lives is wrong.
We can't quit, not as long as there are hundreds of thousands of people still to be diagnosed.
Ban the asbestos once and for all.
Here is Daniel Lambo. Daniel?
Hello, my name is Daniel Lambo. I'm from Belgium, Brussels. My father died from the same disease as it says in your movie. My father was a worker at Eternit, the big company, which you can see here. And the rest of the PowerPoint I would like to show you after my trailer, because the trailer says it all. Is that possible? Thank you.
The factories have been closed in the West and opened up in India to take advantage of lax laws.
This is what makes me mad and what makes me travel the world, because that must stop.
Largest asbestos waste dump in India and possibly even South Asia.
Nearly 600,000 square meters of asbestos waste.
I never knew about the harm of the asbestos. Even the workers, they were not knowing. Otherwise, they would have not worked over here.
And the children didn't know either?
No, nobody knew.
What do you think of fiber? Okay.
There's a huge rise in the use of asbestos in India. Indian cities are riddled with asbestos.
Now the asbestos should be banned totally.
Hello, sir. Do you speak English? Can I talk to you about the situation in Kazakhstan and Russia?
What's happened is nothing less than corporate homicide. If you made a decision that has cost the lives of people, then you should be held accountable for it in a criminal court.
So, I come from this little town, little village in Belgium, Capelle den Bosch, and this is the mother plant of Eternit. So the picture is not about me, it's about the monster in the background. And I have a little story about a few weeks ago. The entire company was closed by the top because they measured, there were asbestos fibers in the factory. And the workers were very upset. And they managed to keep the factory going for a few days, and then the workers said, we want to know the truth, what's happening. So there was a storm, and the entire factory is still made of asbestos cement fiber sheets. So, and with the storm, the roofs start rubbing, and probably the dust, and well, it looked like a flashback to the 50s. Yeah. They negotiated for only one day, and then the next day they started working again. The promise was to renovate the entire place, but you can imagine this will take a year, maybe 2 years. This is my father, a union man. If he had heard that story, he would be like, and they would not go back working. But today they went back, so. This is Eric. Some of you know him. He's the only guy who held a court case against Eternit. He won, which is a very important case for the rest of the world. So we want to invite other countries to come to Belgium and try it also. He's still fighting. He just also recently won in the parliament in Belgium. They changed the law so that people who apply for the Asbestos Fund, where you can get compensation, can also sue the company. Because before, you were not allowed. You could take the money, but then you had to be quiet. So he managed to change that. So I really respect him for that fight. This is for Krishna, Mr. Krishna. This says it all, right? Children in India still playing on asbestos, and these sheets are still being sold like it's product, poor man's product #1, they call it. It's on every slum. This is my friend Tuplu. He's a lawyer at Lide with Harminder. He does voluntary work. He arranges medical camps in India. He helps these women who are exposed to asbestos, like we all know, through the clothes of the husband, washing the clothes of the husbands. Most of them are illiterate, so he helps them with the papers. We created a fund, the Breathless Fund. Some of you would like to help Tublu with that. You can talk to Harminder. There's also a crowdfunding campaign so that he can bring a case to Brussels to fight Eternit for what they have done in India, because we think polluters should pay, right? They should clean up the mess in India as well. And this is a courageous lady that's a main character in my movie. As Eric puts it, his mother, Françoise, died of asbestos and started a court case against Eternit. And Nirmala is an Indian woman fighting also in her hometown, Fernanda in Brazil, and Linda here in America. I mean, it's all women and courageous women. Thank you.